Hey everybody, what's up? Want to make a quick video? I want to make a video for you. I don't edit these videos very much, so I'm not really recording this. Anyway, so I had made other videos like in the process of how to build these out, but I kind of want to walk you through the back end of everything and show you a little bit about the site. So it's currently July 16th. You can see here. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember when I built this site out, but I'm going to show you some things in here. So let's just go through overview real quick. So you can see here I got full indexation still. It's only been, what was the day was this? So June 30th. So it's been like 2 weeks. So you can just so you can see like the full indexing. Now I have a lot of errors in this build. I told you before, like I'll show you like the non-index pages. You'll see what they are. It's basically like, let me show you this first. So I've said this before. I should probably do a whole thing on Search Console because I think Search Console is a really great tool. It's actually like better than analytics now that I hate GA4. But you can get some good insights from GA4 to be fair. But it's gonna open up in a second. There you go. All submitted pages. So you can see here, of the pages I submitted, 665 are indexed, 51 aren't, and I'll show you why the 51 aren't. So discovered, currently not crawled. So you'll see here after a while, this will start to decrease, and you can see here it's starting to decrease because it takes time. So the difference between, I'm not sure if I've ever explained this before. I make a lot of videos for my team, so I apologize if I've already said this before, but the difference between discovered and crawled, discovered means they know about it, but they haven't crawled it yet. Crawled means that they know about it, but they're not going to index it. So you can see now that all the soft 404s are gone. All these are gone. These are the ones that I've submitted, to be fair. No, that's not the whole site. Submitted means like through the sitemap, that kind of thing, that I've said, hey, I want you to look at these pages. Please do it. Only thing I did not do any kind of indexation stuff. Only thing I did was submit the sitemap once the pages are on the site. I waited till all the pages were on the site before I submitted the sitemap. Okay, make that clear. So you can see here, like I said before, this is starting to crawl those pages now. So they discovered them. Now it's starting to crawl them. Each crawl will get more and more. And then you'll see here in the overview of this indexation that it's starting to get more and more. Now I have a lot of errors in this build. Like I said before, like I didn't take my time to build this out. I would have done a test run first. Usually build a page or two, see how it goes, see how it looks, make sure it's what you want. But I'll walk you through the entire process. So all the ones that are not indexed, no index tags. So I didn't take off the tagging one. That was my fault for that. So that's no index there. Page of redirect. I have some redirects there because I built pages wrong. So that's the whole point. I do have some soft 404 errors in there. Some 404 actual 404s. Soft 404s are basically when they find the page and then it's like a redirect for it. So until like it could be like a lot of different reasons for a soft 404, but we won't get in that too much. Canonical tag issues, crawled, currently not indexed. So you can see some of these too, like the reason some of these should be like the feeds and stuff. Like, yeah, these are all the feeds from the blog posts that are on there. So that's how that works. That's normal. And then the lastly, discovered, not crawled, which again, these are which we know about, so that it knows about them, but it hasn't crawled it yet. It knows them, but it hasn't actually done the crawl yet. That's exactly what that means. Crawled means it did crawl the site, so the bot went through the site and didn't index them, which again, it's going to always increase because it's like feeds and then different versions of sites and stuff when we add them. So my point of all this whole point of this build is to show you that you can build a site. I would not build a site this way, meaning I would not just push a couple buttons and run the site. I would make sure I test the articles, test the outlines, test some things, but I get full indexation this way. The reason it gets full indexation, I think, is because from day one, it has internal linking. That's my only, I don't put them up here in the inspect URL. I don't do any of that stuff. The only thing I do is I add the pages to the site and then I submit the sitemap. Now, the reason I like to do it the way I do it is because I do pages and posts. So I'll have two sitemaps eventually, and I'll once it has the index, I'll put all three of the in there. So I have like the index underscore sitemap.xml. I also have the page underscore and then post underscore sitemap. Depends on which XML sitemap provider we're getting into the weeds here of SEO here for a second, okay? So just know that if you're not good at SEO yet or don't know a lot of it, I don't mean good, but like if you don't know a lot about SEO, this is not going to make a whole lot of sense. But what I'll do is I'll have three different sitemaps. I'll have the index, I'll have a page, and a post. So from now, what I would normally do is I would go out and I would create posts now for this. So I'd go back to the ZenWriter, go to the bulk writer, and then create a bunch of posts based on these. So I'd ask ChatGPT, hey, here's my URLs. These are the topics that we're talking about, and you have that from the tool that we built, right? You have a different the different services that you offer, or the outlines you have, and I would put all of those and say, hey, give me 10 blog posts for this particular one, 10 blog posts for that, and then here's the variations of the cities, and here's my link pack, and then have it kind of work with you there. I'm not going to get into how to build a site. I'm not trying to show you how to build a site, but my point is that a tool like ZenWriter and a tool like the spreadsheet, again, I have a more robust version of that, but I'm saying, like, I want you. This is not meant for you to, like, I'm not going to build out the site. Like, I'm not going to build out the tool more. I'm not trying to make money off this. I don't really care. I'm not running a group that's sharing this stuff. I just want to make this video because I want to show someone else how to do it. But the thing is this. So here on the site, this is MyWayData AC Repair. This is the site that we're talking about here, right? So MyWayData AC Repair, MyWayData AC Repair. So how I do it afterwards, let me log into the backend real quick. Just real quick so we can see. All right, so when you go in here, I'll this has like pingbacks and stuff, like things I turn off normally, but again, dirty site. This is the home page. So I usually make the home page the HVAC company in the main city. So what I would normally do, let's say I had again, we pretended as if the company was in Hialeah. So what I would do here is I would have the company in Hialeah. That would be like their GBP would be on this page. I'd have it embedded here and do images. There's no images on here. There's things that I would add to this site over time. So to go with the SEO, I would have like an image that's like the brand. This is a very generic site, obviously. But you'd have like some images there of their work, their staff, that kind of stuff too. So here's how I build the menu. So the menu is, our services. I typically, like, you might have 40 services. I have like mini splits. I don't do all those. I do like the main services, right? So air conditioning repair, installation, emergency AC repair, maintenance, residential and commercial. That's kind of like all I do. I might do maybe up to 10, but if you have like 30 or 40 services, I don't put all of them in the heading thing here. I do make sure that they're like on the home page. So okay. Here's one thing I will say that I do differently than just pushing the button on a tool. So I would typically, if you take, this is like GBP gold right here. What I will typically do is whatever my services are for my GBP, my Google Business Profile, I'll make headings on the homepage. So residential HVAC services. Now, if I have like AC repair, AC installation, AC seasonal maintenance, if that was like the services that I offered, then this is all done through, I haven't edited this at all. So like emergency HVAC repair, I would make sure that my services match my homepage. That's what I would do. Just a little trick there. But anyways, you have your services here. All those services are like, so these are all for Hialeah. If you look at the bottom left over here, I'm going to cover over this and you can see the bottom left, the URLs. So these are all for the Hialeah. So all my links up top, everything that actually points to a service, I point to the main city's pages version of that. So if like air conditioning repair, it goes to the Hialeah page. This one goes to emergency, you can see here that one's Hialeah Garden, so that's the wrong one there. But Hialeah, again, build it fast. So yeah, that should be wrong. So I did this manually, to be fair, so I messed this up. But good thing to double check this, right? So this one right here should be the emergency one should be Hialeah, not Hialeah Garden. So I can fix that one, but I'm not going to. Service area. I'm going to show the service area page. So what I'll typically do once the page is built, I'll have a couple things. I'll usually add an image. I'll have this right here. And I'll have an image zoomed out. So like, Florida, go to maps. And typically what I'll do is I'll have this be like thing. I'll take a map. I'll take a picture of this. Like, I'll do like, I use a snippet tool. So then I'll do this and then do something like this. I'm not saying this is exactly how I do it. It's better if you have your actual, like, let's just say this was your let's say your building was right here. Let's say on this road right here. Right. I would have my business. I'd use the map of my business so we can show that it's here. And then I would usually like draw like an arrow or use like a PNG version of this and like show it right here, and then something like that. So I'd have some sort of, and I would name this file HVAC, so all lowercase, HVAC dash company dash Hialeah dash Florida, and then dash whatever the name of the brand is, right? Something like that in the file name, and then upload it to that page, right? And then there. So then what I do is I manually came in and created this list of all the cities. So we had this from the spreadsheet. Take the spreadsheet name, put it in alphabetical order. I always put whatever my main city is. I put that as a top, and then I put everything else in alphabetical order. Easier for people to look through. And then obviously I'm gonna do F12 here. You can see here on mobile, it makes it a little bit easier to see too. It breaks it down a little bit easier. Just know that. And then I don't put any schema. I mean, I put schema on all these pages for like page, but typically what I'll do is all my schema will be on the home page just for that, because I'm using that one thing there, and then that kind of stuff. But yeah, but you'll see that here. So I basically do all these. This already has built-in stuff, and then you can kind of see as you test your builds, you'll see that, hey, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like these and links here, but the bottom doesn't get any links really, if you notice. So that means I'm writing a lot of, again, these outlines are too long. I would not write these kind of outlines. These outlines are way too long. But let's just say that's the case. You can just add more links, right? You can just add. So if you're seeing that this is like the case and you're like halfway through, well, if you're doing 12 and you're halfway through, that means you can do 24, right? So maybe you do 20 links per page with 2 or 3 per heading, that kind of thing. So that's things you can work on. This is kind of how I build the site out. So the theme doesn't matter. I find that I have a bunch of comments. These comments are all pingbacks for the most part. You can see here. Yeah, these are all pingbacks. So the plugins that I use. Oh, let me show you how to build from post to a page. So let's just do a new post. Yeah. Test. Wow, my finger there. Test. Random content. Okay, we're going to publish this. And then, so what I do here, okay. All your posts will come through here. And when you go through ZenWriter, it goes through, it makes it post, because it's really a blogging tool. I'm just using it as a thing now. Let's talk about some philosophy here. Again, I don't remember if I told you this before in the last video, so if I'm redundant on here, I apologize. The reason I use pages for city landing pages and for posts is twofold. Number one, those pages for the most part will be static. So I basically make if you're familiar with how to do sitemap timing stuff, it's like a 1, so it's like it never really changes. And then like something like a blog roll will change more frequently. So I'll have that done out as well. So I'll have like different timings. I forgot the word, but basically how often it's updated, right? So I make all of those post pages, and then that gives me a sitemap for pages. And then as I started writing blog content for the actual article, what I'll do in ZenWriter is I'll post this out over time. And then what I'll do is I'll have it to where post maybe 2 or 3 posts per week. I'll have like 300 or 400 articles ready to go for the next 2 years. That's kind of like how I build stuff out, right? Now I know 300 articles, 3 per week would be 2 years, but the point is that you can build that over time. You can build 1,000 articles if you want to. Again, don't do that, but you could. You want to build out, maybe 100 or so blog posts that you just drip out 1 or 2 per week. It's totally fine. Then there's like a whole philosophy of how to do that to the post and articles. Like N8N can do stuff where you like have it as it creates a new blog post. It goes to GBP. Lots of stuff you can do there. But the point is that then I start making content with ZenWriter, the bulk writer, to make my posts. And so I have a post sitemap as well. So I have a page sitemap and a post sitemap. And then because I have the URLs, as I write new blog posts, I can automatically give it the link pack, so it knows the link to certain pages on the site, so those get indexed as well. And then that kind of goes the whole process. So I like to clean it out. Now, you don't have to do that, right? So there's an argument that says a couple things. Number one, let's go back into the SEO thing here. So some people will say you don't need all these pages for all these services. You can just have roofing company in whatever city state. That would be roofing company, HVAC company in whatever city state, and then just link to a service page, and all of the this. Basically, this whole page is, you only have say 30 or 40 pages that are just all of these, and they link back to an air conditioning repair page. So this link for example. So let's just say residential HVAC services. So this particular section links up to whatever your main page is for air conditioning repair for residential, that kind of thing. So that's the reason we did that back in the day. Number one was because it was very hard to write a lot of content, right? This site has, we saw it in the search thing here. We have 817 pages indexed. I would say even 2 years ago, that would have taken an astronomical amount of time to create. And now with the advent of AI, that just becomes, as you can see, doable, right? That the argument here is like, hey, what happens in 3 or 4 months from now? Will it still be indexed? Well, if you're writing content, you're still linking to it, then it will be indexed, right? If you're not writing new content, you don't touch this site at all. Yeah, after a while, it might not get indexed anymore. But the idea is that you're getting this first initial click through to be fully indexed when you're writing articles. And the trick is the links, right? So there's that. Secondly, I will say, how you structure your sites matters, right? So yes, Google doesn't know if it's a post or a page, taxonomy wise, doesn't really know that. However, when you're writing new content and doing different stuff, you want to change something out, you have this ability to do that, right? So these are all pages up here, and the back end is posts, all your blog rolls posts, and you can have, if you want to have like your pages be a certain layout, all your landing pages, city landing pages can be certain layouts versus your post, your blog post. There are advantages to it. So, but again, I don't think you have to do it. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. I like to do it. So here's how you do it inside of the back end here. So what you'll do is you'll have all your pages here. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. So here's how I do it. So I have a plugin called Post Type Switcher. I'll show that here. Post Type Switcher. Bad allergies in the morning. Sorry. All right. I'm not going to sneeze. All right. So you go to posts. And what you'll do here on the post is you'll click on, you'll basically click, there'll be a whole section of these. Now, you can do it by like ZW. That was the category because in the tool, I have it to be ZW. But you can click this here. You'll do edit and you'll do apply. And then you'll have this menu will drop down. And then post type, you just change it from post to page. And that's it. And then you can go to your pages. Do it here. Now, on my other sites, I have a tool called Folders, which costs money. But I have like all the different cities into different folders. So I'll have like, the main city, and then I'll have like Hialeah. We'll have all the pages for Hialeah in a folder. So it's easy for me to find. This one has 725 pages. Yeah. So you can see all these here. So it's like, they're all over. So the point is that that's how you do it, right? So you just basically do posted pages, and then if you want to write schema, I use like different things for schema. I use Rank Math mostly. I go back and forth. I do all in one Rank Math. I do change them up on my sites, to be fair. I installed Sitekit, so you can see that it's actually first party data here, not like whatever. So obviously this is like when I was first going to the site. I'm sure people were checking it, I'm assuming, and I do want to make this clear too, like. Everything you see from like these kind of public builds is I would take the metrics as a grain of salt, because it's like you're going to get such skewed data because it's people watching these videos, Googling the brand, going to the site, clicking around, doing stuff. So it's like not real world data. It's like always going to be a little bit fake and skewed. So I just like you see, I got 83 visitors. Like it's probably me. I don't have there's some. I mean, I haven't touched the site in a while, so it's starting to get some traction a little bit. But and to be fair, it is getting some. And I'll show you here. It is getting some results. But just don't look at this and be like, oh my god, I got 5 clicks and whatever. It's bullshit clicks, right? And then the impressions are going to be going up. You will get a lot of impressions. That is something that does happen. All my sites get usually 1,000 impressions by month 6. So I know that's a lot. I'm not saying that's the case. Even if I do just a test one, it gets that kind of search volume. So yeah, so just don't think of these as like, okay, if I'll probably do another month or two. I'll probably do another update on this just to show you. But take it with a grain of salt, because you know this URL. You're going to go to this site. You're going to see it. You're going to do stuff, and people will look at it. My CTR is 6%. That's not realistic, right? You should be like 0.01 here soon. It should be like less than that, 1/4%. in the early days. These are just because people are clicking on it and looking for stuff. So don't think too much. But yeah, like you see here, like the pages are getting some impressions. Again, not very much. So the main company there, that's not realistic. Thermostat installation highly. That's interesting, right? So that could be something that's getting picked up. And then here's the thing. Here's like my trick to all this. If you start to go, so here's we have 193 things that are showing up here, right? So all the different ones here. So what you can do at the very beginning is take the one that has no impressions. So obviously these all have impressions, but after a while you'll see here are the pages that we have. You have the sitemap already. You can pull that pull that down and download it, and then you can do a well. Here's a little advanced SEO for you. So what you can do is you can see the pages after like say 3 or 4 months if it's a real site, not for this one, because again we're not really trying to rank this site per se. All the sites that I build are not meant to rank in Google. They do rank in Google, but the real goal is to give more prominence to the GBP. That's really the purpose of the sites. But the result of that is it also gets some traction with Google, so that helps organically. But the goal is to help rank the GBP. That being said, if this was a client and you're doing this with them and you build all these pages out, if after 3 or 4 months there's pages with no clicks, no impressions, and this is better through search, like Screaming Frog, that kind of stuff too. But if a page is not getting any impressions and no clicks or whatever, so first things, if it's getting impressions but no clicks, obviously you can update the page. Maybe something has changed or the outline you did wasn't very good. So you can go use that page. Hey, here's the current version. It's not ranking. Here's the metrics. Download the metrics from that page. Put it into ChatGPT or whatever LLM you use, and ask it to give you a better outline. And then start working on the different sections and make a better piece of content at that point, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, if after 3 or 4 months it gets no impressions at all, that page sucks. Get rid of it. Just delete it. Cultivate your site. You should always be pruning your site, right? If you have weeds in your yard, you should take them out, right? So if things are not producing, get rid of them. Only keep the pages that are producing. Then you got to make sure 301s, 404s, that kind of stuff too. But still, you should be in theory, all of them should get impressions. And then over time, as you write the new blog articles, they're linking to these old, quote unquote old pages too. So with your link pack, that's what ZenWriter is so great because it has so much flexibility. Now again, you could argue that hey, this content isn't going to do as well in organic. Okay, but this gets calls. It'll help the GBP get calls. That's what people do. They call that, and then also all this stuff helps with LLM models too. They'll know who you are, the LLM. So I don't know. Do your thing. Again, I'm not telling you how. This is not a. You should do this exactly. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you what I'm showing you. Someone said I couldn't. How do you get full indexation on your builds? And the purpose of this was to show that. Right, that's the first thing. Secondly, is like this is if it was me and I was doing this is how. I mean, granted, a better build because look at these URLs, terrible. FL-4, terrible. But take your time, go through it, see how you can use the tool. As both ZenWriter and like ZenWriter doesn't have a local SEO feature in bulk. I mean, it has a local SEO buffet, but it's not in bulk, right? So I figured out a way to make it in bulk. You should figure out a way this works for your businesses, right? For your clients, for your sites, whatever it is, right? I'm not saying you should be doing this version of it. Maybe this SEO method sucks, sure, but test it, then prove it to yourself. Give it 3 months. Use an actual client with their business and see how it goes. Guarantee you get results. I don't guarantee because you're not paying me anything, but you know what I mean. So yeah, something to think about. I think I was supposed to show you something else. I don't know. Put in the comments if you have questions. I forgot what it is. I just don't have time to make all these videos. I'm not trying to, as you clearly can see, I'm not making these for like retention rate and views. But if you have any questions, we can look at stuff. The new insights is pretty cool. I really do like Search Console. I have nothing inspiring insights, so I'm not gonna show you anything yet. But if you want to see no web vitals yet, it's gonna be no data. All that stuff is all new. I should have some breadcrumbs here, I would think. Yeah, it makes sense to have breadcrumbs. Because it's the way I structure everything. Yeah, list item element. I don't have that schema on there. But yeah, simple stuff. One thing I do like to show you guys. I don't know if I showed you this before, but I do like to show you like the recall rate. So if you're in Search Console, you go to Search Console Home. What you can do is go down, and it's a beautiful graph. Go down to the very bottom, go to settings, and go to crawl stats, open the report. And you can see here, this is why I do it the way I do it. So this is like a good little trick too. I don't submit the sitemap until I have the pages on the site, and then I go to submit the sitemap. So what I'll typically do is in the sitemap. You'll see here I have the different versions of sitemaps there. I call different ways. Now it knows it all. It's all the same, to be fair. But I have different versions of the sitemap. So in case it doesn't want to crawl this one, it crawls this one today, and vice versa. Now this isn't necessarily the way I would do it, only because I had a different theme at the time. I was trying to play out some themes, so it pulled it automatically. But then what I would do is like have one for pages and posts in a perfect world. But again, you saw it there. I haven't done any of this inspection stuff. I just did it, so it just worked. Then you see here, 817 pages, and over time it kept crawling more and more. And then this will be probably one more bump up in indexation, which will be the last few pages that are not these right here. These 51 should be in there as well, I would think. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm not, again, I'm not updating the tool a bunch of times, man. I know somebody asked the questions in the Zenwriter group to update the tool for different, like they wanted new features. I'm like, I'm not doing all that, man. Figure it out. ChatGPT. That's how I look at it. Give it some context to what you're doing, how it's working. Give it the formulas and see what you want to do. It's not a software as a service I'm offering. So, but anyway, I hope this inspires you. If you have questions, put them in the comment section down below. And when I have some time the next few weeks, I'll make that. And then just remind me if you don't if you're watching this video in the future and it's like, September, October, and I'm not going to write blog posts for this one. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to touch the site anymore. If I might put a phone number on here and just forward the phone number to somebody, but I probably won't even do that. If you want to see an update on how it's going, because then let's just say it gets fully de-indexed in another month or two. Well, then you have a time frame, right? So then hey, on average, it takes about 2 months for it to get de-indexed for whatever reason. And if that's the case, then it's like, okay, well, if in the first month it gets fully indexed, how soon can we start writing blog content so that it all gets put out, and then you can start testing that way too. But it's just data. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you. I won't see you, but you know what I mean. Bye.